Education is a powerful tool. I mean, we're seeing more and more, whether it be private firms or definitely in the public service, this focus on diversity and inclusion training, all these sort of things. What do you think is working well with D&I training, and what do you think? Where do you think we're falling short with it? Because again,
Yeah.
similar to like when we talked about like in the mainstream, you're hearing noise around people's views on or critiques of like, oh, there's no systemic racism in my country, yada yada yada.
Yeah.
Similarly, there is criticism now around D&I training and whether
Yeah.
we've gone too far or whatever it might be. Where do you feel like we're falling short, and what do you think we're doing well when it comes to D&I training?
Let me start off by saying that there is very little difference being made in this space
Okay, like
because
you mean the impact of this
in
work,
the
or
impact, yeah,
okay,
the
interesting.
impact of this
Yeah,
work,
okay,
yeah. And I say this simply because most of it seems like window dressing, if I call it a window dressing, is performative, and companies and government departments, they. I don't think they are that serious about achieving real results. There's no real will, you know. They will talk about it. They will not put enough resources into it, right? And they will not even have what I was just a few moments ago talking about, accountability
hmm.
to give real effect to the changes, right? So the DEI space, I think, has a lot of work still to be done. I think, especially since the murder of George Floyd,
Hmm.
we more people became more conscious and aware, and I think not only that, I think more people were willing to stand up and be counted,
Hmm.
and raise their voice about injustice. But already, you see people saying, "Well, we've done enough." Done enough for what? What are the results, right? I mean, if you have one or two token appointments at some levels, you haven't done anything really, in my view.
Hmm. Hmm.
You haven't reached critical mass, and that's what you need for the momentum, to continue. But if
A
you if
critical
you
mass
appoint
of what,
one
Prakash?
of representation,
I
sorry,
got it.
of
Okay.
people, yeah, of representation,
Okay.
you got to reflect the society in which the society is made up of, and we don't have that, right?
Hmm.
That's my point. And if you have this critical mass, I think you will have sufficient people turnover, and you know what? I mean, we're not asking for handouts as minorities. I would be willing at any time, any day of the week, on merit, be evaluate,
100%. Yeah.
you know, and I mean, I mean, this whole question of merit is another topic, right,
Mm.
on its own. They have made exceptions where it suits them. Example, I talked about the people coming back from the army, the
Hmm.
World War, about French-speaking people. Something the what Dr. Zellers is talking about, that is the merit principle, really, and how it's been amended and flexible in some cases. But true merit, I'm talking about true merit, any day of the week, uh, we are as smart as anybody else, and we are as hardworking as anybody else,
Hmm.
right? And so, but that is lacking. So I mean, you look at the United States, and some of that is now creeping into Canada.
Hmm.
You see that people are banning. I mean, they're outlawing at institutions
Yes.
the teaching of true history of slavery, of colonization, and of oppression and discrimination, right? Not only in schools, in elementary schools or high schools, but even
Yeah.
at universities, that is shocking, right? Uh, so, I mean, this whole anti woke movement, I mean, woke is just being alive and alert to the
To what the
issues
truths are. Yeah. Yeah.
and the truth, yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a problem with that. They say, no, you shouldn't be alive to these issues. We like the status quo.
Yeah.
Let it go. because white supremacy is what we want to protect in the end of
Right.
the day. I
Right.
mean, it's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
In 2020, I mean, this 2023, 2024 now, it boggles the mind, it absolutely boggles the mind.